One of the most interesting aspects of Araki is looking back at his earlier works in retrospect. It's always interesting to look back at an artist's beginnings, at what ideas they used back then that they would later refine in their later works, or ideas that didn't stick with them as they progressed, serving as an interesting period of their works. However, in this video, I want to take a look at a manga from Araki's early years, a manga that is now lost. In Araki's book, Manga Theory and Practice, on page 154, Araki goes over a manga that he worked on before his professional debut. The manga was called Sandstorm, and was about a boy going into the desert to rescue his sister, where a strange sandstorm was happening. This is pretty much all the information we have on the manga, as it was never published, and Araki states that the original art is now gone, making it lost media essentially. Despite no longer having any of the artwork to see, we can speculate what it would have likely looked like on the context that Araki provides. He states that he made it a year before his professional debut. This places the manga either before Cool Shock BT, which was his first serialized weekly manga, or Poker Under Arms, his first official manga publication, putting it somewhere around 1979 to 1981. With that, we can see Araki's art style at the time and guess what it would have likely looked like. His art style is nothing to what he's known for today. A lot of characters have very soft and simple designs all around during that time, and his settings are nowhere near as complex and detailed as they are today. In fact, Araki does comment on his art style at the time when he made Sandstorm, saying that he focused too much on the mood rather than the story, and if he would have been a better artist, he could have made it better, but his skills as an artist weren't fully there yet for it to work. He makes a lesson out of this, saying that if you're gonna make a manga based on its mood, then you have to be a skilled artist on the level of Akira Toriyama, or else the manga will fail. Even though Sandstorm was a one-time thing that Araki has since moved on from, he did take a pretty important lesson that I feel affected his philosophy when it comes to writing a story today. On the same page he talks about Sandstorm, he talks about how it failed due to having the sandstorm itself as the antagonist and lacking punch, as he puts it, saying that a sandstorm just isn't enough to fill the role as an antagonist and not being able to fit it in the battle manga structure he was going for, which I think is interesting considering how Araki's form of writing has evolved since then, given how important the main antagonist roles in JoJo's are, with a lot of the main antagonists of the series being people who are a force to be reckoned with and at the forefront of each part. Also with how much deeper Araki can go with these characters, learning a lot about their personality traits, their views on life, and overall making them feel human in a way. Something that I imagine Araki would not have been able to do using the setting as the antagonist itself, especially in the battle manga structure he uses. As well, when thinking about this point, I couldn't help but think about JoJolion and its lack of a main antagonist throughout the majority of the part, which put off a lot of fans, especially with how used to we are with the main villains often playing a larger role in the part. But throughout JoJolion, it lacks a main antagonist, making the story feel like it was missing a fundamental piece that often drove the plot with the other parts. But in doing so, I feel Araki was given an opportunity to explore a more personal story of a person finding his place in the world, something that I don't think Araki would have been able to write at the time he made Sandstorm. So in a way, I view Sandstorm as showing how much Araki has progressed as a writer and an artist, and how he always pushes himself outside of his comfort zone to write some of the most captivating concepts and ideas that he wouldn't have been able to do back then when he first started, showing how much he has truly progressed. Hopefully y'all enjoyed the video and got something out of this strange part of Araki's past that I don't see many people really talking about when discussing about Araki's earlier works before JoJo's, which is why I wanted to do this video in the first place. And even though the original art is long gone, I do hope in some way, like, at least a copy is lying down around, even if it isn't that good of an artwork, as I'm not the biggest fan of Araki's earlier works, as I do think some of them are a bit hit or miss. I do think it would be interesting to at least see what this manga was about, as I feel like anything that is lost media is more of just a travesty in a way. So hopefully y'all enjoyed the video, hopefully y'all got something out of it, and hopefully I see you in the next video. And yeah, make sure to press that subscribe button for more content, and yeah, have a wonderful day. See ya!